All right. All right.
We're back
All
again.
right. Dude, I don't know what happened. It was just like my Wacom tablet like had feedback or something. I was talking about my favorite comic in the whole world. And all of a sudden it went and it just stopped. So I don't know. We're back on. I don't know. We probably lost a viewer or two. I don't know.
Keep
Yeah,
it
we'll
going.
see.
Keep it going.
Well, basically, look, man. I mean, what's cool about this? First of all, is it's Jack Kirby Commandi, which that's just awesome. I mean, I love the world he created with Commandi. It was loosely based on uh, the Planet of the Apes series. But you hand something to Kirby and it just becomes a whole other thing. So, like the Planet of the Apes series, just turned into basically, in my opinion, 10 times better. This little guy, Commandi, is the last boy on Earth. And it just goes into this awesome story where talking. I love talking animals. I love half animals, half people.
Anthropomorphic,
Anthropomorphic, I think.
I think is what it is.
Yeah, anthropomorphic. I
Anthropomorphic.
think. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, look at some of these pictures, dude. They're just so cool. You know.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. But here's what's cool about this book. I was flipping through this book, and I mean, this came out when I was born. Okay, this was on the stands when I was born. And here's what's amazing about this. Within this book is an introduction to Jack Kirby and who he is. Dude, it's just kismet. And it's like fate. It goes through and it talks about, it's like page after page is talking about Kirby and his career and what he's accomplished. And this is up to this point at Commandi. But then after that, it reprints the first issue of Commandi. So you've got 2 full stories in this comic, and each of these stories is packed out. If there's one thing Kirby did, he packed out his stories with great art, frame to frame. And that's what I think we're going to try to do. I mean, a lot of comics now, they have a lot of dialogue, and you can tell there's a real emphasis on writing, and I love that if it's good. But even with good writing, sometimes comics can be a little bit drawn out. And the original purpose and design of a comic book was to give you a inexpensive few minutes of reading pleasure, and it was supposed to be mostly visual. And so with our comic, we're going to have some good writing. It's going to be all the story you need, but we're going to tell the story visually. And I think we tell the story visually first. And that's what a comic should be, in my opinion. So there's going to be a lot of action. There's going to be a lot of scene. And when we're talking, we're going to keep the panels moving. And, hopefully it's going to be something everybody's going to like. So Dan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what viewers should expect from us in the coming months?
So I guess we have a lot to do, but we have a lot, we've done a lot already. So I think that we're going to try to be consistent here. We're going to try to be transparent in the process of getting this book out. So you'll see things like we kind of have our next couple videos lined up that we want to do, or live chats, so that people can see sort of the process. Like we were talking about in the last video, we started doing some scripting on air, like just because it's something that people need to see. And so we think we want to share the rest of that stuff with you too, down to Jason drawn art or special panels or different things like that. So you're going to see that. You'll probably see an uptick in our social media and stuff. Maybe we're going to finally get some hero like web page and or Facebook page or whatever done. And we're just going to try to keep this thing rolling. I think, get some more hype going on this, and get this book out and get some people excited about it, so that hopefully it'll get funded. It's something that'll get out there into people's hands, because we believe in this thing a lot, and we just want, we want you guys to believe in it too. We want you to see it.
Yeah, like some of the things that people can expect is to see more artwork developed. We've got 14 pages developed right now. We've got 14 pages inked. We're going to get into coloring very soon. We're actually looking for a colorist. So if anybody's watching this and you want to comment about a colorist that you think would be good for us, we'd love to, have some good recommendations. And we're exploring that right now. So definitely hit me up with some good colorists that you think could help us make this book look great. You should follow us on Twitter if you're into Twitter. I'm at MJWilliams75. Dan is at Ride, Die, Repeat. He is a biker guy. He likes downhill biking and dangerous stuff. So Ride, Die, Repeat, at Ride, Die, Repeat. Yeah. But yeah, if you follow us, you'll get to see a lot of the process. And we're into showing what we're doing. So like a lot of what this is just us sharing the process. We're showing like the artwork, we're showing the storytelling. I mean, we just did a video where we're scripting. So we've got like the panels, we're showing you all the panels. You can see this book in development as it happens, live.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do. Basically, we're doing this out of fun, and we're just going to share this with you. It's a passion of ours, and it's something that you can just follow along and watch us work at it. Yeah. And when this thing is all put together and finished, and you see it in your hands, maybe you're one of the people that followed along from the beginning. And if so, that you get kind of a badge of honor for that from us. But also you get to just kind of like see, like if you were wanting to produce a book, we're going to make all the mistakes that you could make. We're going to run into all kinds of problems. We're going to have to shift. We're going to have to adapt. We're going to have to learn about printing, and we're going to have to learn about what a colorist costs, those kinds of things. Dan and I want to get funded, so we're going to get into the Indiegogo scene. That's a really hot scene for comics right now. A lot of people are making some good money there, and we're hoping that we can get some people to back us and people to share it and get on our team. We're going to actually do a live stream pretty soon of a poster development, because what I found is that in promoting this, we need some hot artwork that is just promotional in nature, not just the cover, not any kind of just inside story scenes, but like a poster, that shows these guys, in their full glory and a cool pose and what they do. So we're going to put that poster together live. I'm going to probably bring a sketch to the table, and then we're going to blue line it out and maybe lay down some inks while we talk about comics and we talk about the comics industry and the kind of the stuff that we think about it.
I think too we should keep this like not pulling out books every week and talking about that, but I think we should like pick an artist or pick a writer or something every week and maybe talk about some stuff like that, or keep some comic not comic news, but comic content that's not just us in there too, because like this is what it's all about, right? Like this stuff's what got us into it. We should keep some of that stuff on the table too.
Let me see that hologram again. Hold that hologram.
Hologram up right here. Hold on, let me get it in the light. Look at that. Look at that. Wolverine is going down an alley. His claws are out. Claws popped. There's a glint off of those claws. Look at that.
Yeah.
You don't do that stuff anymore. Look at that. Gosh.
So that's cool, man. You know what? I'm with you, dude. That's
cool. Wolverine 75 from, I think this is 93. Let me look. 93, November of 93. Wolverine 75. That is a good book. I don't care what anybody says.
Everything you like is from 1993. Did something happen that year in your life?
I was 10 years old, man. All kinds of things happened.
Yeah. Do you remember the first comic book you ever got?
No, I don't.
Do you remember the first comic book that you ever picked out for yourself?
Like I honestly think I had the streak of I was buying Predator comic books, and I really think I might have bought a Predator comic book because when did that movie come? When did Predator come out?
Oh, dude, it was like 85, 86.
Yes. No, I had been getting books before that. I don't know. I just remember vividly going into the shop looking for Predator comic books. because that movie came out and I was like about it. But I know I had stuff before then. I mean, it's probably an X-Men or something like that is probably what it was, because I don't remember exactly. I think a buddy of mine took me to the comic shop. He's like, you got to check, like come with me to the comic shop. My dad's dropped me off or something. And there's a place called Dusty's Corner. And we went to Dusty's Corner. And I remember, I don't remember walking in, but I remember I spent like my dad gave me like $5 or something like that, and I spent all of it. And I had to give it to like my buddy's dad to like buy me these comics because I probably didn't have enough. I was like, here's $5. Can you get me these comic books? So I don't know. I don't know what my first one is, but I bet they're in pieces somewhere. I bet they're not intact.
Well, my first one actually was an Iron Man comic book, and it was I'm got it in my collection, and I probably should have pulled it out for this conversation, but I didn't. Maybe I'll pull it out for next time. But I actually have the very first comic book that I ever picked up.
That you remembered it was your first one, and you have it.
Yeah, because I was. I mean, my dad would buy me comics like if I got sick or something like that. A lot of people have that story. Like if they got sick, parents would bring them, or their uncle would bring them some comics, to lay in bed and read comics. But I remember the first one I actually went and picked out for myself, and I must have been like 11 or 12 years old.
Yep.
And it was an Iron Man comic. It was the spinner rack at the drugstore. And I looked at all the comics and I thought they were all pretty cool. But the one I picked out was it was Iron Man. It was Iron Man versus like a space dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in space. It was Iron Man in space. So that's why I liked it. It was Iron Man in space fighting some kind of a dragon creature. So yeah, I'll have to pull that one out. It's a pretty neat one.
But you know what I'm going to do for next time is my Marvel card collection.
Oh snap!
I'm just playing. I do have a really good Todd McFarlane Spider-Man run of like the Kraven the Hunter and the Lizard book.
It's the McFarlane Spider-Man series that they made just for him.
Yeah, exactly. I have that. I have them in card form. I'm pretty proud of those.
Yeah. Oh, that is neat. I'd like to see that actually. Yeah, like in the other ones I remember having early were I had some Star Wars comics, I think, and then I had I did have some early Eric Larson Spider-Man issues, which were pretty cool. Because I actually I came in on the tail end of the McFarlane Amazing Spider-Man run.
Mm-hmm.
So I was probably about in my 12, 13 years old, something like that. And when I actually subscribed to Spider-Man. The first subscription I ever got was Spider-Man and Thor, Amazing Spider-Man and Thor, because I wanted the Walt Simonson issues. But when I subscribed, Walt Simonson left the book, and I think it was like Ron Friends, or maybe it was Sal Buscema, maybe. Which is cool, but at the time, it wasn't what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So I was kind of disappointed, but I had 12 issues of Thor coming, and I had 12 issues of Amazing Spider-Man. And one of the first ones that came in the mailbox for me was the Amazing Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six, Eric Larson. Now, Eric Larson is, you take him or leave him. I know you're not a huge fan of Eric Larson, and that's fine.
I have a Savage Dragon in that box. I can see it right now. So there's part of me that's okay, but anyway.
Yeah. So like for me, like Eric Larson was really great at Amazing Spider-Man. He really captured, like, coming off of McFarlane. Eric Larson after McFarlane was a good transition for that book, and the writing was solid. I think it was David McElhinney at the time. And it was a good story, and there was a Venom story that was amazing that came in right after, and then the Sinister Six story was really good, and it was action packed. It was great. Nobody draws Venom as good as Eric Larson. I'll go up against anybody on that argument.
Man, even McFarlane?
No, McFarlane did not draw Venom very well, because McFarlane could have drawn Venom well, but I think for whatever reason it was at the end of number 300, right? And it's an iconic story, and it's great.
But didn't McFarlane invent, or he's a co-creator of Venom?
I don't know if he's a co-creator. I just know that he
I'm
did
pretty
draw the
sure.
very first Venom issue.
Okay, I thought he was co-creator. I
I
might be
mean,
wrong.
I think but you know how Marvel was. I mean, that's the reason they left Marvels. They didn't have any stake in the
Right. Oh, yeah.
characters, you know.
Yeah.
So like he may be co-creator of Venom, but he doesn't get that he doesn't get that recognition from anybody.
I'm sure he said it on his live drawings somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But no, dude, it's but and he did a good Venom, and the Venom story is iconic. But Eric Larson drew a beastly, spidery Venom. It was a very like jacked Eddie Brock,
Bigger. He's bigger. Yeah.
hulkish,
Yeah.
and Eric Larson was he was able to get that the teeth and the tongue and all of that stuff going to the point where it was like it just looked it was monstrous in a way that Eric Larson never got to. So he just basically took. I felt like he just took sort of like what Eric Larson or what McFarlane created, and then he just made it. He just made it more of that, and it was good. And then nobody, in my opinion, has ever hit that level. And there's a lot of great illustrators that have drawn Venom, but Eric Larson was the one who really captured him perfectly, in my opinion. And I know you're excited about that new Venom movie that's coming out.
I don't know, man. Well, I am reserving judgment until I see the Venom movie.
I'm not
But
reserving judgment.
I don't. My critique though is I don't know how it can be a Venom movie without Spider-Man.
Amen to that. How in the world are they got? I mean, it's not a Venom movie without Spider-Man. There is no Venom without Spider-Man. And who wants to see Venom eat people and then like save the city somehow? You know, like yeah, I know that like he's fighting other symbiotes, but that's the only thing that Venom as a character is good for is fighting other symbiotes because he's not a hero. And you know what? Venom is a better villain, and I know you're kind of a fan of the Flash Thompson
Yeah,
Venom.
I like that series. I
Yeah,
think a really unique take to freshen up Venom just being a villain. Like I thought it was pretty good. And he's almost an anti-hero because of what's like how they have it set up. But I like Venom better in his full on like tentacles coming out, grabbing Spider-Man by the neck, throwing him through a wall, licking his face with a big old nasty tongue Venom.
yeah. You know, like the Venom and the promo movie looks awesome, but like, just think about it. I think I told you this. Think about this. Like, take the movie Venom that they've just created, right? Let's say Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3 never happened.
All right.
Okay? It never happened.
As far as I know, it never did.
Right. Just wipe that from your memory. It won't be a problem for you.
Yeah.
And then take the newest Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And put him up against this Venom, the Tom Hardy Venom.
Yeah.
And you've got the makings of a fantastic movie.
You're just printing money too, Sony.
Oh,
Listen
dude.
up. Print money.
Print that money. I mean, seriously, like you put those guys in a movie together and it's $2 billion.
Yeah.
You know, just put it out around October. It'll go to all the way to Christmas, or put it out in May. It'll go all the way to August.
Yep.
That movie will print money like a Chick-fil-A.
Yep. Except on Sundays.
That's right. No, but dude, it's seriously, and it's and that Venom looks great. They've got that guy they got him looking like Venom. Like the way his eyes move is fantastic. The slimy tongue and all that stuff. It just gets crazy because, like in a movie sense, and that's another reason that I really like the comic book Venom better, and it doesn't translate to movies because in a movie sense, when you've got tentacles and stuff and you know things going everywhere, especially like at nighttime in a city, visually that's pretty tough to take in. And the special effects, just you especially when it's two of those creatures fighting each other, it becomes, in my opinion, it becomes a little hard to watch and not as interesting to watch because it's just you can't, you don't know where your eyes are going. It's the same problem people have with the Transformers movies. Like the CGI is so complex and detailed that people can't they can't hardly watch it and don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
So two like Venom versus Carnage at night in a city, it's just too much. Some parts are cool, but it's just too much. That's why you need to have Venom opposing Spider-Man, because people have Spider-Man mapped out in their mind. When Spider-Man's jumping around the city, he's red, blue with white stripes. People look, you can see him easily, right?
Yep.
If he's fighting a dark Venom in the city at night, it becomes interesting because your eyes are going to focus on Spider-Man and what's coming at him.
Yep.
So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Dude, I told somebody it'll make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But it'll flop quick. The first weekend, because Venom's got a fan base.
Right.
There's a major fan base for Venom character.
Yep.
And people want to see it redeemed from that last stupid Spider-Man 3. So this will be the redemption swan song, right? Basically, they'll have a cool looking Venom that'll, bite off bad guys' heads and, save old ladies and cats,
they're trying to cash in on like Deadpool's cool because he's like kind of a bad guy, but a good guy at heart. And they're I don't know, they're trying to do that anti-hero thing with Venom, and he's just not an anti-hero. He's a villain.
Dude, he's a creature, he's not a person really as much as he's a creature. I mean, he is a person, but he's a person that's possessed by an evil creature.
Yeah, and Eddie Brock wasn't a great guy to begin with. Like, let's be honest. And
yeah, Eddie Brock was weak.
Right. And that's why Venom is using him, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tom, what's his name? The guy playing Eddie Brock?
Oh.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yeah.
Tom Hardy is going to have to play, if he wants to play Eddie Brock straight, he's going to have to play a guy who's not in control.
Yeah.
Right. He's a guy who's possessed and taken over by this entity. And I don't see him playing it this way. The way the promos work, it pushes you. And I know I haven't seen the movie yet, but I mean, I've seen, enough comic book movies to know what they're thinking and what they're going to do. They're going to make Eddie Brock a hero, and they're going to make him flawed, but he's not going to be the same as he was in comic books. He's going to be a person that somehow or another gains control of Venom, and he's going to be in the driver's seat, and he's going to be a good guy. And that's just not going to be interesting because that's not the basis of it. Venom opposes Spider-Man. He hates Spider-Man. Spider-Man rejected the suit. The suit took over a weak-minded person, and that person became Venom. And Venom is a Spider-Man rogues gallery villain. And that's where he is best served in any movie capacity. So, but look, man, we could talk about this kind of stuff all night. Why don't we sign off, and then we'll come back again, hopefully this weekend, maybe.
Yeah, we can do something this weekend.
All right, I'll hit you up with an invite. We'll get some more stuff together that we need to work on for the comic book. But until then, this is Mutt-Man signing off.
Rad Dog Pete out of here.
Dan, the idea man. I've got a lot of nicknames for you that I need to pull out, so just be prepared for that.
I'm ready. It's normal for me now.
Danosaurus Rex. That's one of my favorites.
Keep it coming.
I also like the Dan thing. That is one of my absolute favorites. The Dan thing.
I have that. I have that saved.
You need to make that your Twitter pick.
That's gonna happen in just a little bit.
Yeah, boy. All right, man. Well, it's good seeing you, and we'll talk a little bit more. Hope everybody enjoys Hero. Watch out for it. We're gonna get more and more done on this thing until it's ready to launch. We're looking for a colorist right now. Have a great time. Enjoy comics. Later.
Thanks, Kat. Take it easy.